Tribalism, meaning dividing into groups that compete with each other, evolved from life's need to compete for limited resources to survive. To overcome tribalism, humanity has used tools to help people cooperate and live in harmony. Often, these tools are not in the form of physical items, but in the form of ideas. Various religions and philosophies have emerged to provide people a positive framework within which to collaborate with others. Religions, for example, have often advocated that all people are made in the image of God, and thus all of us have innate value. Philosophies have attempted to view the world according to reason and evidence, allowing all people to understand our shared reality. Politics is the field of how humans make decisions together in a larger society. Many philosophers throughout history have provided theories to explain what makes societies just or fair. One philosopher in particular, John Locke, developed a philosophy that would change the world. Locke believed humans could cooperate together without some needing to hold unearned power over others. Locke denied that kings had any divine right to rule over other human beings, instead arguing that all people had natural rights that no ruler could justly take away. Every person had the right to life, liberty, and property. He believed that rulers ruled justly only with the consent of the governed. Locke advocated for freedom of religious belief, arguing that the state should not declare which religion is the true religion. In his vision, people of multiple faiths could live together and cooperate within a shared society. Locke died in 1704 as one of the most famous men in Europe. His legacy was spreading a revolutionary way of thinking. His writings inspired a tradition that valued individual liberty, equality of opportunity, and humanity, seeing every human being as an individual of value with rights, not solely as members of tribal groups. This way of thinking encouraged free speech, disagreement, and debate in the belief that the world was objectively knowable, and that through conversation we could better understand it together. This tradition is a philosophy of hope and progress, built on the belief that over time, if we respect each other as individual human beings, respect each other's freedoms, discuss ideas openly, and work together, society can get better and better. People are imperfect, and we may not always live up to our highest values, but our society is a work in progress. Over time, we can gradually make society more fair, more free, and more fulfilling for all humans. One government would be built upon this worldview, providing a model to the world: the United States. On July 4, 1776, the Second Continental Congress of the United States declared that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. The declaration of these principles represented a new birth of freedom in the world. As Alexander Hamilton said, "It seems to have been reserved to the people of this country, by their conduct and example, to decide the important question, whether societies of men are really capable or not of establishing good government from reflection and choice, or whether they are forever destined to depend for their political constitutions on accident and force." The Declaration of Independence provided ideals to strive towards, but America was born flawed. Some of the founders were slaveholders, yet some of those same slaveholders also saw the moral evil of slavery. Consistent with the cultures Americans immigrated from, women were not given equal political rights, nor were Native Americans and others. Yet it was the vision and values of the founders that created the conceptual tools with which slavery would be ended. Women would be granted equal treatment under the law, and immigrants, Native Americans, African Americans, and others would be able to integrate into American society with equal rights under the law. This vision blazed a path of principled conviction that Frederick Douglass followed in arguing for the end of slavery, that the suffragettes at the first Women's Rights Convention followed in arguing for the equality of women, and that Martin Luther King Jr. followed in arguing for the equality of all Americans. All of them were inspired by the principles in the Declaration of Independence and used the words of the Founding Fathers. These principles have spread beyond America, but they are still unrealized in many parts of the world. Many nations are founded around ethnic identity, religious identity, or ruled by authoritarians. Yet the evidence is clear. Countries built on principles of humanity, freedom, and respect for our equal rights under the law are on average more peaceful, less corrupt, and less crime-ridden. Free societies may contain flaws, but when the people in them embrace a common culture of fairness, understanding, and humanity, together we can move forward toward a better world. Learn more about the stories that define and unite us at fairstory.org.